This video is designed to show you some of the key concepts we went over in Division Patterns Lesson 3-2. The key tip we talked about for today is the total amount of zeros in your dividend should equal the total amount of zeros you tack on the end of your quotient or your division answer after you divide your basic fact. And the key part of this is that you do this after you divide your basic fact. So if we take a look at a problem, let's say we have 810 divided by 9. What my first step in doing this problem is I'm going to identify my basic fact. Now my basic division fact is 81 divided by 9. I'm going to put a box around that just to make myself key in on the 81 divided by 9. Now I know 81 divided by 9 will give me 9. And now I have a 0 left over in my dividend, so what I do with that 0 is I tack it on at the end of my answer. Okay, so we can see 1 0 left over after the basic fact in my dividend, and then 1 0 tacked on the end of my answer. Now if I'm going to do 8,100 divided by 9, once again I take a look at my basic division fact, I identify that, that's 81 divided by 9. I do 81 divided by 9. I know that gives me 9. Put my 9 there for my quotient. Then I have two zeros, 1, 2, 0. My second 0 left over after I divided my basic fact, so that means I have two zeros I tack on the end of my quotient. Now we're going to do a problem that's just a little bit trickier here. What we have is 200 divided by 5. We still need to remember that key tip. We identify our basic fact first of all, which is 20 divided by 5. We put a box around our basic fact. 20 divided by 5 I know gives me 4. And then I do have a 0 left over after I divided my basic fact. I have a 0 right there, so that means I tack the 0 on at the end of my answer. However, you can see that I have two zeros in my dividend, but only 1 0 for my answer. But remember, part of that, the first 0 there was a part of my basic fact in 20 divided by 5, so I would not tack that 0 on at the end. Let's look at 2,000 divided by 5. Okay, so once again with this 2,000, what I do is I identify my basic fact. I have 20 divided by 5. That's the first thing. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then I have two zeros left over after I divided my basic fact for a total of 400. So these are a few examples of the problems that we went over in lesson 3-2.